On today's podcast, we are going to explore why problem solving is truly the secret sauce, if you will, the glue to your marketing efforts, and how using problem solving can take your marketing to the next level. Come listen.
Welcome to Life Reimagined with Wendy. I believe we were fortunate to grow up in a unique time in our culture that is helping shape our lives over the age of 45. We are redefining what our lives are like today and pushing the boundaries of what a 45-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 65-year-old, or years young and true adventurer really looks like. Many of us are newly blazing trails and carving out our own purpose-driven path forward. Yep, there have been many unexpected road twists that helped you get here today, but many times these turn out to be blessings. They help you more clearly define what you want. So join me for insights and interviews that show you can face these unexpected challenges and you can come out on the other side stronger and happier. You can make your best days ahead and you can reimagine your next.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Behind Her Brand podcast. I am your host, Kimberly DeShields-Spencer. And I am going to encourage you before we even get started to grab some paper, pen, Post-it notes, highlighters, whatever it is that you like to use, take notes. I'm a color code kind of person, so I always have multiple different things in front of me. But the reason why I want to encourage you to have something, because this is going to be one of those podcasts that I want you to spend some time really thinking through. Because I'm going to talk and ask you a lot of questions that I want you to jot down. And what we're going to cover is how problem solving really and truly is the core, the main ingredient, the glue, if you will, to your marketing efforts. If you are not solving a problem, if you are not communicating that, if people do not see you as a solution, your marketing will not grow. It just won't. Okay. So here we go. Got your pen and paper? All right. So as you know, people are always going to have problems. It just is. But when people come to you, your role is to help them solve those problems for your audience. And here's what I mean by that. I don't mean hand-holding. I don't mean like you jumping into everyone individually. I don't mean that. What I mean is that if your product, your services, your programs, your events, whatever it is that you are putting on, when people come and they plug in, they're plugging in because they feel like you can help them with whatever it is that they're looking for. That's what I mean. When you're putting things out there, that's the goal, is to meet a need. But here's the thing. Problem solving is easier said than done. You can't just like take it lightly and I know you can't go halfway with it because people will always look for better, faster ways to get things that they're looking for. And that's a huge thing that I hear often, is that people feel frustrated that people are like, jumping back and forth to all these different people. But here's the thing. They won't jump if they know that you are their solution. They won't jump if you effectively communicate the different things that you can offer to them that meets their need. Okay. But here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here today and tell you how to build your product or things of that nature, or how to build out your services, because that's something that you know best because you know your audience best. But what I am going to try to do is give you helpful tips on how to market more effectively. So here's the thing. We're going to start with, why do people buy? It doesn't get easy sharing this with people, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, people don't want or really care about what you sell. What they care about the most is, are their problems being solved? And does your product or services meet their needs? Okay. And it doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound, I'm probably warm to say that, but it's the truth. Think about all the things that you see when people are marketing or they're posting and sharing about. But it's the ones that you pay attention to because what they're saying really hits you. It's in alignment with you. And then you plug more into what they're saying. And more importantly, it's not because they posted a product or service, it's because of what they're communicating. Some of the most successful and I would say satisfied entrepreneurs that I know figure this thing out. That we got to make sure we're communicating what we're doing here. Okay. They weren't like a lot of people I know don't really care about like all the bells and whistles. They just care about really communicating what it is that their clients need. So let's talk this through a little bit. So how do you discover the problems? How do you discover the needs? What is it you should be asking? And that's a great question. So I'm going to give you a list of questions. I'm going to go through some that I jotted down, and I want you to write them out. And I'm going to encourage you. It's a long list, but to be really effective, you're going to want to answer each and every one of them. If you have a team, consider talking it with them too. Here's the first. Who are you actually selling to? Who are you actually marketing to? Okay. I know people always talk about find your niche, find your audience, but really think about who is your marketing really and truly geared towards. Are you really clear on their goals and their dreams? Are you clear on what your audience is really trying to attain? Okay. Here's another question. How does your audience gather information to solve their problems? This is very important. This can shape what you actually create in terms of attracting your audience. How do they gather their information? Are they going to blogs? Are they going to events? Are they reading books? Are they looking at different TV shows? Like, what are they doing to gather information? Okay. What are some of the things that are very important to them? Here's the thing, and this is a really great relationship type of question. When I know what's important to my audience, it allows me to create the type of offerings. It allows me to create the type of experience that really and truly hits what's important to them. For example, I know a lot of people that I personally work with, they really want to be successful in their business, but they do not want to sacrifice time with their family. And they're tired of hearing, you got to sacrifice in order to get ahead. They understand it to a degree, but they don't want to sacrifice time with their husband or wife or their children or going to events. So I know that's very important to them. And because I know that's very important to them, you won't see me scheduling a lot of things around dinner time or on times when families get together on the weekends. I don't do that. I really think through how our team plans certain things so that I can make sure that I honor the things that are important to them. Now, this is not to say that I don't have a once a year event sometimes that may fall on a Saturday, but most times I keep things to the middle of the week and the middle of the day because I also value family time. I also value those things. So knowing what's important to your audience is really key, and it will also make them connect to you differently. We hear this question a lot too, okay? What is one of the biggest issues they're facing? A lot of times people will tell you to find one pain point. I say find three. Okay. Find different things that are really and truly getting to your audience. Like, for example, people come to me because they feel like, my marketing's not working. Everyone's doing what I'm doing. So my frustration, Kim, is I don't know how to market effectively. But what I'm hearing instead is, it's not that you don't know how to market effectively. Your messaging needs to be tweaked. Your branding voice is a little bit weak, so we need to strengthen that. Or, more importantly, you're marketing in the wrong season. Maybe your audience isn't looking for this in this season, but they're looking for it maybe in the fall versus the summer. So there's a lot of little things that I hear that maybe they're not asking. So when you kind of get a little bit more, dig a little bit more to really understand what it is that they're looking for, it'll help you be able to fine tune what you're offering. So here's another question. Why is this problem so hard for them to solve? Why are they seeking a solution? That is very important. Why is it so hard? Is it because of lack of resources they can't find? Is it because they don't feel like people are answering the questions effectively for them? Is it because they just feel like, okay, I don't feel equipped? Whatever it is, find out why is this problem so hard for them to solve. Okay. Next question, what does success look like for them? What does solving the problem in their particular situation look like for them? What is their ideal result that they want to get? And I know I asked like a bunch in that one sentence, but the core is, what does success look like for them? And here's the next question. What might be holding them back from actually moving forward to achieve the result that they're looking for? Okay. This is so key. Okay. Because many times people can come to you and they're having all these issues and they want a solution. And I know many professionals run into this, and many of you guys listening to this probably feels this way, but people don't want to buy. They don't want to step forward. They don't want to purchase what I have to offer. The list can go on and on. But what I'm going to say is this. Find out what might be holding them back. Is it they had a bad experience and they invested a lot and didn't get what they were looking for? Is it because they truly don't have the resources to move ahead? Find out why. Because oftentimes you may be able to address that why in a way that will be beneficial for both parties. Okay? Here's a couple more questions. Who else is trying to solve the problem and how are they approaching it? This is for you, not so much for them. Think about, here's the thing. Let me go back. We hear all the time that there is no such thing as competition and all that. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I do believe that there's so much out there for all of us. But what I also do believe is that it is good to know what people are offering. It is good to know what people who do what you do, For me, I love gaining knowledge. I love seeing how someone presents information that I present. I love learning from like people who do similar work. Like, for example, my specialty is not social media. You're not going to see me probably lead an event on social media. That's just not going to be me. I love it. I try to be active on it. I try to offer really great information on it, but you won't see me doing a whole lot of posts and training on social media. But I do look at people that do social media marketing because I am curious how they're packaging information. I am curious about how they're actually sharing certain things. So I do that for my own personal knowledge. That is okay. What I don't do is I don't copy what anyone does. Okay, there's a big difference in that. So it is good to know how are other people solving issues? How are other people doing things? Just more for knowledge sake. Okay, and it helps you to hone in on what you are offering as well. Okay. Now here's the last question I'm actually two more. Let me do this. How hard have you worked to try to solve the problems in the past? This is also very key. Oftentimes when people are frustrated with their marketing, are frustrated with not getting the kind of results that they're looking for, go back to what you did before. Look at what worked and what did not work. But look at, more importantly, how you were presenting the information. That is very, very important, because oftentimes it's not so much that it's not what people want. It may be all about the presentation, all about the copy. Okay. And the last question, really be clear. Whenever someone does decide to work with you, ask them what their process was to say yes to you. It's okay to learn that information. How does this help solve problems? If they say, you know what? I loved how clean and simple your information was. I felt very connected to it. I felt it wasn't full of a ton of things. It just got right to the heart of the matter. And for that alone, I was ready to sign up. Finding out how they arrived to a decision can be very helpful for you as well. Because sometimes I've heard people I've shared like, man, when I go to someone else's website, I see a long thing. I feel like I'm scrolling for 10 minutes before I get to, okay, what's the price? What's the end thing they need to enroll? And for them, because they're scrolling so much, they leave the page because they feel like it's too much content. They don't want to engage. So I've learned over time that people know me to be very simplistic. Very short and sweet. I give a synopsis of here's what we're going to be doing. Here's the investment. Here's the process. And are you interested? Kind of thing. But I'm known for simplicity. That's my thing. And so I learned that over time that people did not like to be inundated with too much information, because it goes to that saying, a confused buyer does not buy, right? So that being said, asking these questions can really help you understand so many different sides of your business, understanding their whys, understanding their purchasing decisions, understanding what success looks like to them, what kind of results they're hoping to gain. Like, getting some of this information is so helpful. And here's the thing, if you feel like, do I got to do this all the time? No. Okay, you don't. But I would encourage you once a year. There's no problem checking in once a year and asking yourself these questions. Get with your team and really kind of do some evaluation so that you can go into the next year much more stronger and having a different kind of game plan together that can allow you to really make sure that you guys are solving the problems that your audience is looking for. So doing this can help you refocus your messaging, as I mentioned earlier. It can also help you create really cool phrases that people like headlines where people can say, oh my gosh, I love that, and they click on it. That's very key too. Doing these different exercises will give you some of the verbiage that you need to make your marketing sharper. Okay. And last but not least, doing this also, when you start asking these questions and you start upgrading your content, upgrading how you're attracting them, upgrading the process, all of this makes your prospects and your clients' lives so much easier in working with you, because people want to enjoy their experience when they're signing up and they're choosing to work with you in any capacity. So really asking this, being responsive to comments, digging deeper, really understanding what they're looking for. Even doing this will allow you to be more effective in your keywords and things that you're posting and sharing. There's so many different layers of, in my opinion, assets that can be very helpful to you in spending some time with a set of questions that I told you, because it'll give you such great data, such great content, such great feedback, and it'll allow you to be more effective in everything you're putting out there so that you can start getting the results that you're looking for. So that is the information I wanted to share with you guys today, and I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you spent some time with it. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Please do not feel overwhelmed with anything that I shared with you. If you only can take one question and focus on that for the next couple of months, do that. If you have a team of people and you want to kind of delegate it out so you can get some information, do that. Whatever works for you, make it work, okay? Because I want you to be successful. I want your marketing to grow. I want your client engagement to increase. That is key. You're in business because you want to grow. You're in business, you want to be a service. You want to really be that solution for people. So I'm going to encourage you to ask those questions. I'm going to encourage you to spend that time doing so. And I hope that this was helpful to you. I really do. So thank you again for joining us for another Behind Her Brand podcast. And again, my name is Kimberly DeShields-Spencer, and you can learn more about us at www.behindherbrand.net.